Okay, good morning everybody. It's Momin, and I start the class a little bit early today. I can see, I hope someone is there. So I will recap a little bit from the previous classes, and we'll go from there actually. So, all right. So today class mostly is for basically it's again I'm going to recap the all the because today is the last class. Actually it's a portrait class, last class. I don't want to go too far, and if someone wants to keep up with that, you guys can go to my YouTube channel. There's a tons of videos out there and you can watch it, you can learn. I'm going to put some more videos on it, basically the continuation of the class, because I like to cover. I want to go back to the watercolor class, which I started earlier before the portrait class, and that class is still so much to achieve in that class. So I will start. I start the basic watercolor class, live classes. Now I will be branching it out to different how you use different, which I did already in portraiture, how to use watercolor in a portrait in a portrait. Now the next session, the portrait, the watercolor class will be branch out to landscape classes, landscape, basic landscape, not very hard, not very complicated. Basic landscape, how to render the gradient, the flat wash and gradient wash, dry brush marks, all that stuff. So that will be covered in that classes, and I will show the landscape, how to render a very basic and very good landscape painting in watercolor. Let me actually, I did some last week. Let me show you. So these are the some painting. I know it's not related with the today's class, but these are the paintings I did last week, and this type of work I'll be discussing in a landscape class. So here's some more here, there. Actually, I done quite a few. I was trying to make some Christmas cards, and didn't get a chance to hand out. Still with me. Yeah, there you go. So that would be the main subject for that class, watercolor landscape class. Now, and then I will go with the cityscape. Basically, once I finish with this landscape, then I will go to the cityscape, how to render a cityscape, basic cityscape, not very complicated, not like 10 buildings or whatever. Basic cityscape. So okay, let's this is the previous class I did last week. I render a very basic portrait by layering up in watercolor. How to, let me just zoom in so you guys can see what I did last week if somebody wasn't here in the class. So look at this. Actually, if you look at this portrait, there is a lot of techniques I did. Basically, see that here is very soft wash. Like the wash is very soft. What I did, I put a dark value here, a mix of cobalt blue, and you can use a burnt sienna, you can use a sepia, you can use a burnt umber, whatever you have, a brown, dark brown color, which is I call it dark orange color. So if you have that dark brown color, you mix it up with any warm blue, which is a cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, or I would say, yeah, those two colors and the French ultramarine. So if you have these three colors in your palette and you like to mix that type of color, which is the dark, very dark brownish gray color. So if you, and yeah, so then I put some little bit let me do quick demo here so you guys can see what I did. So I see that I put a little bit cadmium red here. I clean my brush, make sure I'm gonna actually, the next video I will show you my workspace also so you guys can understand. I have the, see that I clean my brush and I just drag it a little bit. See that how the wash running away? As soon as you see the water, clean water, it runs. So that's how you here. That's how you make the soft edge. That's what it is. Basically, this is the soft edge in watercolor. So as soon as you put a color here, let's say color here, right, and a dry paper, and then you clean your brush, make sure your brush is clean, and then you clean your brush, and then you just wipe it along the edge of this wash. Just wipe it and let it go, because what happened, the wash, the pigment will run where the water goes. If I want to make a soft edge here, I can make a soft edge here like that. So that's how the watercolor works. Very simple, very basic, no drama, nothing. It just and simple, as you can see, the other side is it creates a hard edge. That's what it is. And same time, if I take this wash down like this, keep my brush clean, and let the pigment push down along with the water like this, and this is become a gradient wash. So dark and light and light and disappear. So that it become a same wash, it called gradient wash also, because it's from the dark to light, and to achieve that impression or the mark or whatever you call that brushwork, or so this is what the technique is. So red, I mean the cadmium red, you put it a little bit right here, right, and then you want to get a soft edge, right? You create a mark on the paper. Now I will drag my brush a little bit along the edge with the very clean water, and same time you can dry your brush also. So you keep dragging your brush. What happened? You letting the way to water to travel more, and then you keep going. It will go all the way down, and it create a nice soft edge, which is again a soft edge and the gradient wash also. They both same word, same technique, but a different word, and that's it. If you want more, you can go and just clean it up, and then this is all. See, the red color start dark, it get mid-tone, and then it get light tone, and then disappear. So this is how the watercolor works. Basic, and that's what I did here in the portrait. If you can see that it's very soft type of wash here. Same thing here, and I start put another layer on the portrait. I finished it, then I glaze it. Basically, I warm it up, and then I put some white, which is I use a white color, poster color, as I showed last week also, for highlights. For highlights, you can go open it up, this color, get some color out of it. Just put your brush straight. Make sure your brush is not with another color or something. Otherwise, you will ruin your white color. So, and then you go put the highlight into the eyes. I can extend these highlight a little bit more, or you can put, if you want, you can go put a little bit highlight here on his jawbone here, and I can create more highlight on his chin, the lips. That's how the white color works. So this is I use here last week. I use the white of the paper also, but intentionally, because I want to show you guys what can you do with the white color. So you don't need to preserve the transparency of the paper, I mean like the white of the paper. You can go and just paint it over, like see I did here, right? I go get some white color, right, and I can just make a nice pattern here with the white color. You don't need to wait I mean, to keep the white of the paper. So you just go, let's see if the wash is dry. No, it's not dry yet. So you let the wash to be dry, and then you can do the white override with the white. So that's how the white works, and you can make your process very simple instead of keeping the white of the paper and all the way at the end of on your painting. So anyway, this is just a recap for the watercolor I did last week, yeah, I hope you guys understand how to mix colors and everything. So this is today I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna render another watercolor portrait, and I will do in acrylic also. I squeeze my palette here, as you can see, I squeeze some acrylic here on the wax paper, and I will show you how to render, how to mix the flash tone into skin tone. Skin tone in acrylic also. Same thing like a watercolor. Same rule apply, but here is more white involved. So white, I squeeze intentionally. I squeeze cadmium yellow, cadmium red, cadmium orange, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, burnt umber, again cadmium yellow, deep hue, and some cobalt blue. So we're going to mix all these colors and bring some skin tone. Always remember, when you squeeze, I'm not sure how many of you are involved in acrylic. I always spray some water to keep my paint moist. I'm going to do at the end of the class, so this color may be dry, so I will spray some water and keep my paint moist. Otherwise, it'll be covered with the outer layer, and it will dry, and you can't get the color. It's really hard for you to get the color. Anyway, let's put this on the side. Let's start the class now for the portrait. I hope everybody understand how the light works, how to mix the colors and everything. So let me grab my pencil. Okay. So first thing first, because since it's a last class, I'm going to recap a little bit. So what was being done, and what are you expecting from the class today? I explained already. So the basic of the portrait is you must know some shapes, how to draw that type of shape. So if you understand how to draw that shape, let me make it a little bit darker so I can erase it and not a problem. So here, okay, so that is very important. If you know how to, then you go make a line, right? Or better yet, you can go and put another line here. You don't need to put in a center. I explained earlier in the classes, if people think the eyes on the middle of the face, every face is different. I'm not arguing argument here, because every face is different. It could be right, but you have to learn in a very general form. You don't want to learn from the exception, right? It could be a person eyes in the middle, and maybe if the face is turned up or down, it could be eyes goes up, eyes goes down, because it's all fixed on your face, right? The eyes are fixed. So it could, when you person turn the face, the eyes can go up here, eyes can go up here. So this part of the face will become, your head will expose, the eyes will come here, and then the nose will squash, the lips will be very shallow, will get close to your nose, and that's how the portrait will look like when somebody is looking down. So more head will expose, less face will expose, and the eyes will travel down, and the ears will go up. The ears will go up, probably up here. So things change when the position change. It's everything. The whole scenario change. So you make sure, don't get yourself confused. just stick with what I showed you. Like this is what happened basically. Let me grab the eraser. Let's erase this. I hope you guys are getting it what I am trying to explain. And so just keep it with the basic, and then once you understand how to control the proportions, how to manage everything, it looks good, then you go and do your experiment, change it and see what happens. I would encourage you guys, do your own stuff, right? Do your own drawing. Don't even use the reference photos. Anyway, so let's go to one line here. That's how I start my portrait, so for the class, and that's it. That's what you need basically. And to eyebrows, line the shape, then you put the ears along with the adjustment to the eyebrows, not low, not too high. And the lower part of the nose will be earlobes. That's the ear will be stay within this boundary, that boundary here. Okay, so let's clean again. Let's get this out of here. So here. So now you go and once you have this proportion done, you said, okay, looks good. It more look like a face. So and then you cut it out a little bit. You make him a little bit, give him a lips. I actually explain everything, how to render the nose, the lips, and the eyes in the previous classes. You can watch that video. You will know how to render the small part of the portrait. So here I get ears. Now I'm going to clean this up. It's too much draft, so you always go clean it up, because I'm going to do the watercolor and I don't need a lot of dark value on my draft, so I will keep it as clean as possible. So here, let's go zoom in. Actually, it's zoom in more. Oops. And let's get this fixed. I got a problem last week also with my phone. Actually, I use the phone. So anyway, here, as soon as you touch the zoom button, and it will create a problem here. There you go. I think that's better. Here, let's keep it in the middle. So I am in process of sketching the basic sketch, looking at me, not looking here, not looking there, just a straight like a passport size passport photo. And let's clean up the eyes a little bit, make the eyebrows a little bit more dense, and let's do some hair. I wasn't doing the hair in the previous classes. Let's do the hair also in this class. So keep it very basic type of hair. Okay, so done. And the neck, I'll keep the neck a little bit shallow, not too masculine. You can do masculine neck. You can go, let me erase this and I'll show you actually. You can do a very masculine type of neck here, like that. Or you can get it like a very, here. I will keep it here. Collarbone. That's it. That's the farthest I go. I don't want to go too far, otherwise will be a full anatomy class, human anatomy. So we are in the portraiture class, so let's keep it up to here. Okay, done. So my basic sketch is done, and I will go grab some watercolor, and so if you see any flaw or something, you can fix it. If you think, okay, this eye is big and this eye is small, you can go and fix it. It's not a problem. You see the chin is kind of a little bit off, so I will go fix that. Fix the small things here and there. If you don't want to get the chin too big, you can make it smaller. You can go make a face round. You don't want to go too much of a bony type of face. You can go put very like that, like a more kind of a round face, like that. So it depends, right? It's the beauty of that. I explained in the last class also. When you create something on your own without the reference, this is what you can do. I can go make his nose big, right? You can make a nostril big. You change it. You are in control, right? You can change it. I can make his nose bigger, right? Make him older. Give him some wrinkles, give him wrinkles here, age-related wrinkles, and make the lips thinner. Give him some wrinkles here, wrinkles here. So see that the person is getting older. And just to change, I put 2 marks here, some wrinkles here, maybe more the eye bags here, some wrinkles here, some skin here. Look, it start getting old. So if you take out these and just experiment, right? Once you have a proportion under control, you go experiment, and change it. Change to the person lesser age than older person. Just changing few things on the portrait, and then you will see it changes big time. You just give a different perspective on your portrait. So here I'm done with my sketch. I think it's under control, and let's zoom out a little bit so I can show you guys what I did. You know what? Let's bring the palette here. I have my throat problem today a little bit, not much. That's why cleaning up my throat time to time. Okay, so the palette is here. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Keep that warm color. Let's move this since we are dealing here. So I will just keep the palette here and zoom out a little bit more. Here. Now you can see the complete palette. Let me just go quickly with what I using, right? So you will know. Okay, this is the French, no, this is the cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, French ultramarine, Prussian blue. I got a sepia color, then I have a burnt umber, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow. Again, it's a Naples yellow with a different brand. I can use that color also for the flash tone. And some yellow also. It's a lemon yellow. Cadmium yellow, again, some cadmium yellow, I don't know the name. I have some Rossiana, sepia, oh no, sorry, another Rossiana and yellow ochre, sorry about that. And the green color, I'm not going to count the green color because I have some lilac here, nice color. You can tone it down, some of those colors. This color, very opaque. When you mix with the other colors, what happened? it create a nice texture on the paper. So lilac is a very beautiful color if you can use in combination with the other color. Let's say if I put a cadmium orange here, see that create a nice yellow ochre type of color here on my, and it, because it's so opaque, it create a nice thick layer on the paper. So try to use the lilac and combine with any other color, see what happens. Anyway, let's get this out of here. I don't need this. So here yellow ochre, some purple color, another I think is a Persian blue also, and that's it. And cadmium red, purple, again purple. This is a burnt umber. Cadmium red, again cadmium. Some different. I keep different cadmium red. It's just not one cadmium red in my palette. Anyway, let's start. I would put French ultramarine first, very transparent blue, warm blue, a little bit cadmium red, and some yellow also. If you want, you can put some cadmium yellow. I use cadmium orange. French. You need a darker skin color, you can use some French ultramarine. More French ultramarine, a little bit more cadmium red in it. It gives you a nice dark color skin tone. And if you want more brighter skin, more like a brownish skin, then you can put some cadmium orange and you get a nice skin color. Now, the problem here with the watercolor, I can use white and mix up a little bit pink color by using cadmium red. And I'll clean it up and put a little bit white in it, and I got a nice, see that I got a nice pink color. If I put more white in it, it gives me a nice pink color. There you go. That's how you get pink color in a watercolor. Although I have pink color rose madder in my other palette. So anyway, let's start the class and get some cadmium orange, warm it up a little bit, start the portrait. You working on it just using a paper, dry paper, and just putting a first wash with my small dagger brush made by Rosemary & Co. More water, because you don't need too much pigment here, just a very initial wash. So what happens when you have an initial wash, you use a little bit more water. If you want to leave the highlight, you can leave the highlight here like this. A little bit highlight, and then you just cover the whole thing. Even though you can go in the hair also if you want, because the dark value, right? So unless you're making like a golden color or other type of color, but if you're planning to do a dark color, then you can just let it go into the hair also, which is not a problem. Then you're gonna go put a dark value anyway, so that's not a big issue. Here, let's put some more pigment here. I'm gonna warm it up. Let's leave some highlight on the lips, some highlight on the chin also. So we're not deciding where the light is coming from. So we just building up a flat wash and creating basic sketch. Let's get some more burnt umber, make it a little bit darker here on the chin. Let's get some water. Soon as you see the color is too dark and you want to change the consistency of the color, just add some water, and then what happened? It become lighter. That's a good thing about. Oh, you can do the same thing in acrylic also. Same thing can be done in acrylic also, that you can add more water and you can make the color lighter, change the tone or change the consistency of the color. So here I'm done with the first wash. If you want, you can pick up some water, get the paper, dry your brush thoroughly, and then you can go. If you think you put too much color on your on the portrait or your drawing, then you can always pick up some color like that, like this. You can pick up from here. You think you put some more here, and you can pick up some from the nose also. Okay, so that is the first wash. Now I will go and create another sketch here. Meantime is drawing. I can use the hair dryer, not a problem, but it makes too much noise. So we can do something else. We have a 1 hour. We still have a lot of time. So let it dry on its own, and I will go render another portrait with the different direction, right? So here again, same shape, same shape. Then the line will come from here. This line will go here. This line will go here. This line will go here. I hope everybody can see it, what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, I can see that. And then you do the same thing. The button, a little bit turn. I showed in the previous class how to render from the different directions. The portrait, nostrils. When you do the half, lips will be changed, the chin will be changed, the ears will more exposed to this portrait. The hair, let's keep the hair here. Let's keep the eyebrows here. The other side of the face, the chin, the neck. The eyebrows. Actually, it's drying, so I'm just doing another one with the different direction. So see that I put a same mark, and the line, instead of coming in the center, I use this reference line here, this reference line here, this reference line here, and this reference line here. So it's like a ball, you know, like. So when you have these lines will go like this. This is how that it explained. The lines goes like this. So I'm going to erase this draft. And the back of the neck, the shoulder, collarbone, the ears, ears are kind of a little bit sometimes become challenge because we don't draw ears too often, so not enough practice how to draw ears. Okay, this portrait is done. Now let's go back. We're going to talk about where the light is coming from. So I would say the light is coming from this side. I would say the light is coming from here, right? Let me erase this also, the draft, so we can come, if we have time, we can come back, and because I have to do a portrait in acrylic also, how to mix colors. If we have time, then I will just at least, if we don't have time, at least I can show you how to mix color in acrylic also for the skin tone and other stuff. basic. Let's clean it up a little bit here. Okay, so let's go and get some dark value. The previous mix, I used same mix, and I put a little bit burnt umber or sepia color and some French ultramarine to get a very dark color. So we are assuming the light is coming from here, so the eye socket will create some shadow. Let's put some dark value in the eyes, and render the eyes more. See, I left the highlight with the paper white on this eye, but this eye by mistake I override it and it become a dark, right? So I can always go back and I can use the white color at the end of the session, and I will go and put some highlight here on this eye. So you don't have to worry about it. Here, okay, a little bit here underneath the eyes. This side is more darker, and now I'm gonna do his hair like a dark brown here, right? So let's do the hair. Let's put a 1 value and create some dry brush marks, right? Sideburn. So let's get some more dark color, sepia. The quickest way to make a very dark color, just get either cobalt blue, cobalt blue, French ultramarine blue, or ultramarine blue, and get a nice dark color. Mix it up with the sepia or burnt umber. You get a beautiful dark gray color here. So this is done, okay? And now I'm going to create some little bit highlight shadow and casting shadows in the ear also, since I'm going to do quick because we don't have a time. So this part of the face, I will get some water because we don't want to get too dark. I put some cadmium red and some water, and I will create some dark value here because since it's the light is coming from here. So very vaguely I will create a light here. Let's just get this a little bit lighter because this side of the face will be darker. This collarbone cast some shadow. The back of the neck will cast some a little bit darker. This ear will be darker. And now I'm going to be a little bit careful because I have to be careful here because if I put too dark, then it will be a problem. So I will start with a very light color and create the light on his face. Very light gray color with the pushed a little bit red, cadmium red in it. Clean your brush. If you don't need the color on your paper and you need a soft or gradient wash, just clean your brush and then you go and put some on the paper and make it very soft type of edge. Now let's get this here. Let's put this here. Here. Don't worry if you put a too dark color, you always can lift it up and make it a softer, darker. So I will leave this here. Let's make this softer, keep it softer. Underneath the lip will be darker, the lip will be darker. Let's define the lips more because I left it unattended. A little bit dark here under the nostril. Here. I'm using the same mix, right? Same mix. I'll keep using it until it run out. And yeah. Let's get this out of here. I will try to leave some reflected light, but it's okay. We can do it later. It's not a problem. See, these are the things, the reflected light, and you don't need to create right there on your during you're rendering the portrait or anything you do, you just leave it, and keep in mind that you don't want to leave it by mistake. So what happened, it give you later on you can do it later on, no problem, right? Here's some shadow of the hair, keep some highlight here because the forehead, let's get some French ultramarine, get some cadmium orange, maybe a little bit sepia, get some more dark value in the eyebrows. I left the eyebrows unattended. I just left the mark with the, let's get some sepia, French ultramarine, get a nice dark color, give him a nice dark eyebrows. So you can see that I don't have no reference photo. I am just working with my own idea. I created by my own imagination. You don't need to have a reference. If you have more control on the proportions and all that stuff, you can do your own portrait. You don't need to create something from the reference photo. Let's get some clarity here on the eyes. Yeah. So see that mostly is done now. What now you can do, you can go a little bit cadmium red, mix it up with the previous mix. You can go create more. Let's get some paler red color. You can put in the nose if you want. You can clean it up, a very soft type of shadows. You can put a little bit in the eyes also, under the bottom eyelid. And the gray color, all the time I explain, please don't leave this white in the on the eyes, because it doesn't look very good. So I would just block it with a very light gray color and leave this white of the bottom eyelid, because that's what the light is exposed to the light, and it's you can leave this, create more, a little bit depth into your the eyes when you're constructing. So here, or you can go a little bit red and put a little red across, just not too much, right? Just put a little bit red here at the edge, and it create a nice eye. Let me just go zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing actually here. So this is the portrait I done. It's a small portrait. I know it's not a big portrait, but you can see that is. Now at this stage I will go grab my white color, right? Grab the white color, and then you go pick up the white color, right? And then you start putting into the eyes here, one here. I put too much actually, by mistake, because there's some water in it. And then I can put some highlight on the nose, the lips, some here on the top lip. I can go here more. Let's put see, I left the highlight here on this part of the face, but you can go create more, and then a little bit more streaks into the hair, create some highlight, and you can do this here also. Just a little bit, not too much, otherwise it'll show, right? So here I put some too much. There you go. So that is the basic portrait with pencil. I start with pencil, then I use some I use the watercolor, basic watercolor, not in, I don't have no fancy colors here, just cadmium red, sepia, burnt umber, or Van Dyke brown, or whatever the dark brown color you have. You have French ultramarine, or cobalt blue, cadmium orange, or cadmium yellow if you have, fine, and doesn't make it too much difference. And yeah, that's it. And if you are, and then you can, let me show you something also. Let's block this here, the highlight, right? Now you can go actually mix it up here. I want to show you something as to how to create a nice glass type of effect into the eye. Basically, that's how our eyes are, right? When the light travels through the eyes, it gets it created like a glass gel. Basically, it's gel, right? So mostly it's, and it's shiny. So here I lifted up some color, and then I go with the very dark. I picked it up. Let's pick up the Payne's Gray. I have a Payne's Gray in my palette. Let's see if I can get a very juicy Payne's Gray without any water. Let's put it here a little bit here. There. So you change the way the eyes were. Right now I go get some white color, very light, and I will put it here, and there you go. So I create the eyes color change. Now the eyes are more greener, and that's how you do. You put one color and then you lift it up a little bit, and then you get a nice like a glass effect into the eyes. That's how you create that effect into the eyes, right? So here, let's put some dark value I have in my palette. So let's clean it up more. Okay, so let's get it over, and let's jump onto the other portrait, because this is, so this is how you do without the reference, and with you on your own. Get a sketch, and this one I can go quickly render with the cadmium orange. Just break the rules. Get some color here quickly. Keep the white of the paper. Some cadmium red, cadmium orange. There you go. And then get some sepia color. I'm assuming the light is coming from here. Let's get some dark, wet into wet. I'm working on the wet into wet. I'm not waiting to this portrait to be dry, because this one I waited, right? I waited and waited to let it dry, get some sepia, more sepia color, get into the eyes here. Sketch a little bit with this side of the shoulder, the collarbone, the neck, shoulder, and this side will be darker. Actually, this is what happened. Let's get some French ultramarine and mix it up my nice gray color. Put some here. Get this eye socket very dark. Eyebrows. Casting shadow of the lip here a little bit. Here. And then you go, if you want to use cadmium yellow, you can use cadmium yellow, bring some more texture or more contrast to your sketches. I would just use cadmium orange. Put some cadmium orange, wet into wet. Let's let it gradient shadow. More cadmium red, mix it up with my cadmium yellow, and I get a nice orange color. Put in the nose, a bit red here on the earlobe. cadmium red mixed with the cadmium yellow I'm using in the lips. Let's get some, treat the nose with the colors. Get some dark color here with the French ultramarine, or you can go, if you don't have time, you can go straight into the what do you call that, neutral tint. You can get the neutral tint straight from the tube. Get some more cadmium orange, and here it's the neck. Let's do the neck, the shoulder. And that's it. So now I have to wait because I need to do more fine details, so I have to wait and let the portrait dry. Once it's dry, then you can go and you can create more detailed work. But that's how you basically render a very basic type of portrait. Let's block the light into the eyes. And I can go, I can get some sepia color, and I can start working or I can use the hair dryer, dry this portrait, and then I will start working on the dark value right away. So like this, put some dark value here, dark value here. There you go. So it's coming, right? It's slowly, it will evolve, but you need to be a little bit patient to get this more drawing, more. There you go. And I will go put some dark color here, so it will create the background with the dark color since it's in my palette. Get some French ultramarine. Actually, I raised the ear by mistake. Anyway, so this is how you render basic portrait without any reference, just to do a small sketch, keep the proportions under control, and by using the method I showed you over and over, that this method here, impression, line, two buttons, nose, and the lips, and then you cut it out, and put the eyebrows, two nostrils, and then the ear will be hanging in between this portion and this portion. Cut it out a little bit. Ear will be hanging here. Then the jawbone, the chin, a little bit jawbone here, the skull, and then the eyes. And then you decide where the light is coming from, where is it looking. At that, it's you're basically you under control. What color, the hair, what color of what type of the lips, or big lips, or you can make a big lips. You can make him laugh, like just keep his mouth open. You can keep it like that. He's talking, and that type of stuff, and control the light. How the top eyelid, if there's you can put some airbags. I mean, like whatever airbags I call it. The eye pockets. So these are the stuff you can change it. You can make him look older, make him look younger. So you can do whatever. It's so much you can do with the portraiture when you're working, and especially when you are creating on your own without the reference, without copying anything, right? I encourage you can get a reference photo. I don't use reference photo anymore, but you can use the reference photo and you can work with the reference photo. Not a problem, but I would initially that's what I do first, and before I go start doing a portrait. Try to do on your own, right? Okay, let's stop here and then let's jump on the acrylic, because otherwise the acrylic colors will be dry up and I forgot to spray. Let's spray again. Actually, let me spray again. Let's get this palette out of here. We don't need this. Watercolor shop is closed now. Let me close this white color. Make sure you tight the jars, not too tight that you cannot open at later time, but tight enough just so the air don't get into it and you get very hard, and that you don't want to do that, because you can't open, and if too tight, if you keep it a little bit loose, it will be the color will get harder. Okay, so this is I'm using a very basic acrylic paper. It's not the canvas, it's just a paper. Same thing, go impression. I'm going to go a little bit bigger because acrylic is needs some more mixing and all that, so I will go quickly do the portrait. Line, right, button, the lips. Cut it out a little bit if you need more thinner. The top eyelid, the eyebrows, nostrils, the lips. The chin. Make him look excited. Ears. Okay, done. I'll keep him. Don't give him here because we're not. I can do here later if we have time, but let's keep him like this. The upper lip. The nostrils, and here let's go zoom in so you guys can see better, a little bit better, a little bit here. So this is basically, let's keep the palette here, and I'll keep him here, and the palette is here so everybody can see what's going on, right? Mixing colors are the most important. Basically, I mean, like apart from the sketching and drawing, the next thing would be the mixing color. I'll keep my water would be here. I don't want to go too much back and forth. Okay, so now I will go grab some white, a little bit, right, a little bit pink color. You can go with you can mix the color here. You can go put some white. You can put some, same thing, like nothing special. Let me grab the other brush. This brush is not the best. So give me a lot of mixing. I'm using a very small brushes because it's not a big portrait. So I have this, get the white, right? Put some brown color, burnt umber, burnt sienna. I put some burnt sienna also. So, and if you make it a little bit darker, you grab some cobalt blue and put some cobalt blue, and then inject more red color in it, and I get a nice skin tone right there. So you can do that also, or you can go with the white and just put a one layer first. See, this is not like a watercolor. You have to be a little bit careful because people say, oh, the The acrylic is, you can make mistakes and you can get away with that, but I'm not sure. I don't know. It's tougher than the watercolor. Watercolor is easy, right? Let's get some. See that I'm using cadmium orange, burnt sienna. I have an ultramarine blue. If I need more dark color, you can go put some more dark color. Put some burnt umber, burnt sienna, or Van Dyke brown, whatever, and you can mix the dark skin color like that. And then you help with the white. You can tone it down if you think it's too much. You can tone it down and put some cadmium orange. If you think if it's paler, you just put some cadmium orange and then a little bit water. If you need to spread more the color, get some cadmium orange. Let's do one skin color and I will inject some more cadmium orange in it, right? Cadmium orange and a little bit cobalt blue, more cadmium orange, a little bit cadmium yellow. That type of color I would use. A little bit white. Along the way I am using the white also, right? I was putting the white. And assuming the light is coming from here. Let's get this going. I keep the eyes open because I need some kind of a reference, right? Otherwise it's hard for me to see. A little bit water underneath the eyes. Let's mix it up. That little bit pink color initially I put it. The jawbone. Mix up white. Let's get some more mix of that color we mixed already. Some water, a little bit water, not too much. I'll keep the nostrils open because I need some kind of a reference, right? Let's keep the highlight here on the nose also. What time is it? Okay. Ooh. We have not too much time left. Anyway, let's do it quickly. I knew that this is going to happen. Going to run out of the time. Every time you think, okay, you put too much skin tone and you get very bright or something, you run out of the mix and it's changing. Let's use a pale it down with the water or with the white color, right? Let's get some more mix. All right. That's good. Since it's wet, I will go blend in. I can blend this color easily since it's wet. You don't need to wait. If you wait, then it will dry, and then you have to put another layer instead of blending colors. I see I still have chance. I can blend this here. This is a little bit more available to mix on the paper. Let's go get some water, get some cadmium orange, and then I will put these ears, give them some ears. The reference lines there, right? And the neck. Let's get some white. Let's mix it up right on the paper. and give a little bit body of the colors. And then get some brown color, get some cobalt blue, a little bit more dark value. The shoulder, the neck muscle, collarbone. Let's clean the brush, get some other brush, because I want to get this out of here because its neck is too big. And I don't like that. So I put some white color. So a little bit going down. Okay, so basically I have the basic first wash is laid down, and I clean my brush, grab my paper towel, and I will go grab some more dark tone and burnt umber, ultramarine blue, some cadmium orange, get a nice dark, and you can push some cadmium red also, get some cadmium burnt sienna, and then you start putting the dark value, because I'm assuming the light is coming from here, right? So then same thing like a watercolor, you have to be a little bit careful here because this is not a watercolor, right? So you need to be careful with your color, with your what are you picking up. So I am working on I'm not letting the color dry so I can blend more. So you can wait, you can layer it up, you can put another layer on the top of the other one. You can do that. Let's get some very dark color for the eyebrows. Let me get this portrait coming. So here, right here, go. Okay, I need a very thin brush, so here, I think this brush will work fine. Let's get some cadmium orange with the previous mix, a little bit white, and then I will start putting another layer without blocking the previous layer, right? I just put another layer here, create more soft type of layer, right? Cadmium red, got some cadmium red. Some white. Soften it up. Let's get rid of this color from here because it's too much. Let's get some water. Paper is a canvas, is acrylic paper. It's a kind of a multi-purpose type of paper. So I wouldn't be using that paper for the final paper. But for practice and for the small work, this is fine. You can use that. But when you are working on the bigger scale, then I would go a little bit, I would take a canvas and work with the canvas. Okay, I think the time is running out, and I will render the eyes quickly and maybe a lips a little bit. Then I will leave it for some other class since we don't have time, because this needs some more attention. This is it goes more, and I don't want to go very quick. So otherwise it'll be problem here. Let's see how much I can do. Let's do some dark color. Let's get some Van Dyke brown and sepia color. Let's put some into the ears. Acrylic is get darker when the watercolor get paler. Acrylic get darker when it's dry. So you have to be a little bit careful if you're working in both mediums. You should know, but if you are new to acrylic, then you used to do watercolor, then you have to be a little bit careful because the acrylic is dry. When it's dry, it get very light, so be careful. Let's create some more light here. See, changing as soon as you put a new value here, different color, because I'm not mixing all the colors at once. So as soon as you mix the colors and you change the consistency of the color, so you have to be a little bit careful with this and don't caught up in that type of mistakes. They change the color, right? So let's put some cadmium orange, bring it back that color I have. Let's make it a little bit darker. There you go. I think this is better. Got some white. The water. Some white. Okay, here. Let's get the eyebrows more paler. It's too dark, and once it's drying, it's getting darker and darker. So what time? Oh, the time is over, way over. So this is how I'm going to wrap up the video here. Let's get the smaller brush and let's render the eyes and otherwise it'll be too long because this watercolor is much easier to do, and the acrylic is it requires some more time to get this portrait done. I knew that this gonna happen because this always takes some time. Now here I'm not worried about I'm leaving the highlight. Get some ultramarine blue for the dark, and here let's put some in the eyebrows here because this look like a very not too dark. Get some ultramarine, mix it up with the dark brown color. So eyelid at the top. Let's put some in the eyes. Get some here. There you go. So here, let me just finish a little bit more. The nostrils. A little bit more. Right to the lips a little bit wide. You don't want to go straight from the tube. What happened? It just showed right away. So it's all, you're going to layer it up one by one, and it create a nice, once you put some more layers by preserving the layers from the bottom, it will start showing that the portrait will start emerging, right? Like that, you know. So you need to be a little bit patient into the when you're doing a portrait in acrylic. You don't need to be very like watercolor. You can do very quickly, and that's what I like about the watercolor. You learn, and you can do very quickly, right? But in acrylic, you have to be a little bit careful. You don't need to. You can't work too fast. You just go little by little. Create the let's do the eyes also, since let me put some into the eyes. Okay, yeah. Let's get some dark value, burnt umber, ultramarine blue. It will give you a nice dark color. Let's put some, expose some more here. Get some more dark value. White color, tone it down a little bit. Not too much, otherwise. Cadmium orange. Mix it up right here on the paper. Right on the paper right here, cadmium orange. Water. Some dark value for the ears here. So you can do a very fine work by using a very thin brushes and create more texture in your portrait, more detail, more realistic type of work. But you see that you get an idea, right? So what happened is all about the, actually, if you know how to control the proportion, then most of the part is done by controlling the proportion. So once you have that, then you can work easily, render the rest of the portrait. I mean the sketch or whatever you do, right? You do acrylic. I mean you do portraiture. You do landscape. Everything requires almost more or less same thing, like how you render different. I mean the proportion. Once you have the proportions right, then you can go and create the more detailed work by just working very slowly. You don't need to work too fast. So here, let's get this a little bit more detail, and then I'm going to wrap up. I know the class is kind of a little bit long today, but let me just show you. And keep working on the layer and layer. That's it. You put some dark value, you can go get the mix of the white. I mean, mix your color and put some here. There. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here. Basically, running out of the time. Otherwise, it'll be all day. I'm going to be here just to finishing this portrait. So, oops, I put some cadmium yellow in my mix and get this patch from the nose. and some. And now the famous, the white color, that you can put a white color here, white color here, create the highlight. Actually, there's some highlight on the lips already, so I don't need to do too much. And that's it. So the very basic, it's not a very refined type of portrait, but what happened, to just to give you the idea how you work in the acrylic, how you work in the watercolor, and so you don't expect same thing in the what you expect in the watercolor. Acrylic is different, but the basic is all same. The proportion, the rendering, and it's all same, right? Like it's not, it doesn't change. So that's what you have to be a little bit careful. Let me just clean it up here a little bit more, because I didn't finish it up, and get the other brush, and let's get the chin a little bit more here. It looks not very good. And the white color here, let's delete that part. All right, so let's stop here, and let me just put something. But since I have a lot of color in my palette, so let's go put this dark value here. This gradient type of wash here. Okay. I hope you learned something from the class today, and I will wrap up this class. Is already went over the amount of time we have, and okay, so let's wrap it up, and then I'll see you on next week. Okay, and next week will be I will start the landscape class, and landscape class will be watercolor, and some I would do some cityscape also in a later, but next week will be the watercolor class. Basically all that work with the watercolor, but I will create some are cityscape, some are landscape, that stuff, right? Okay, somebody said the ears are too big, so let me make them smaller, make them happy. Here, ears are so big, you can delete it, it's not a problem. You can just always you have a white paint in your palette, you can always go and use these tools and create on your own, right? You can just change it, there's no problem. Okay, thank you so much. I see a lot of people here, and I've been subscribed to this channel because it seems you know what to do, what to draw. I am curious to watch more. Please, thank you so much. It seems you need lemon juice and honey. Okay, I really need to work out my watercolors, because okay, and I want to make beautiful things on my own. Okay, all right, thank you so much for all your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.